Hi, welcome to the galley, New England style shrimp rolls. They're going to be so delicious. And the first thing that we want to do is address our shrimp. We are at a little different angle today because we're on the hard, so there's not a lot of pretty boats going by. So I kind of changed the angle and we'll see how that works. Now what I have here is 1 pound of shrimp, and I would say 1 pound of shrimp maybe gives you 4 rolls. So depending on how many people you have, you might want to double this and do 2 pounds of shrimp. Now I have some local caught fresh brown shrimp, $5.99 a pound. Can't beat that. Now you can obviously start this with shrimp that's already peeled, but when I'm doing something like this and I want to poach my shrimp, I prefer to get with the shells on, because that's going to help make my poaching liquid or court bouillon even more flavorful. So that's kind of a choice you can make, but we are going to make a nice little poaching liquid here to poach our shrimp in, and because of that I went with shell on so that I can have those shells. They're going to have a lot of flavor. So let me get these peeled and deveined, and then we will be back to get our salad started. So one thing about these, when you get local shrimp like this, well, the price is right, $5.99 a pound, but they're not going to be all the same size. So if I have ones that are way bigger than the others, then I'm going to set them aside and I'll just poach them separately so that I know that they get poached long enough, or that the small ones don't get poached too long. Alright, so now we're going to talk about our poaching liquid, and we're going to talk about the dressing for our shrimp. Now I want this poaching liquid to mimic all of the flavors that's in the dressing for the shrimp. I don't want this to just be plain water. I don't want this just to have like Old Bay seasoning maybe, and I don't have Old Bay seasoning in my mix, so I want to mimic all the flavors in my court bouillon that's going into my shrimp salad. So as I'm making my shrimp salad, I'm also enhancing my court bouillon over here. So I want a tablespoon of chives, and I like to just cut those ends off, and I'll just throw those in there, and that makes these like a nice even starting service. So I'm wanting to dice 1 tablespoon of fresh chives, and again, the little end pieces, if it's not even, I'm just going to throw into there because we're mimicking that. Now, I also want some green onions, and I only want the white parts. I'm going to take those ends. I'm just going to throw those in there, and I want these pretty finely diced, so I'm going to cut them down like this, and then, oh, you can't see, sorry, and then like this again. I'll do another one. I'm going to slit them down, and then I'm going to slit it down again so that these green onions are nice and sliced. I don't know if I have to get used to this angle so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to finely dice in the white onions, and I'm going to do 1/4 cup of the white parts of the onions here. And if you go up into that green a little bit, that's okay, don't worry. And then in we go, and then these, you guessed it, we're going right in there with that. Oh, went the wrong way. And now I want 1/4 cup of fresh dill. So as I pick my dill off, I'm going to throw in that in there. We don't have the AC on yet, so it's hot. I've got a fan going, so if you hear that noise, that's what it is. So I'm gonna pick my dill, and then I'm gonna chop my dill till I have about 1/4 cup. My sprigs, they're going in here. Next up, celery, and we're going to go 1/2 cup of diced celery. And this is going to be too much. I already did 2 just because I just want to put the celery in here. So I'm going to, again, chop off that end, and chop off the top, and there we go. We have no waste. And then we're going to finely dice this celery till we have 1/2 cup, and whatever's left I'm going to throw in there. I just wanted a little extra celery in there. One thing that encouraged this video was I at a bakery came across some beautiful brioche buns, and it just made me think about like a lobster roll. But here, you know, it's this is a shrimping town, so shrimp is more readily available than lobster. And I also think shrimp is more readily available for most everybody. You can buy a bag of frozen shrimp to make this. You don't have to, have local fresh shrimp. So we'll chop this up. I think that was about a half a cup. Oh, I might do a little bit more. Oh, now this is just an onion that I cut the other day. That's really has nothing to do with this, but this is just a great way to use it. So I'm throwing that in there. And then I have 2 teaspoons of fresh minced garlic. So I just went ahead and smashed a couple cloves of garlic, and in there they go. But for this, you're going to want the zest and juice of a lemon, or about a good tablespoon of lemon juice. Because I have this whole extra lemon that got zested for my lemon pepper, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to juice this in here. And I'm going to throw my lemon in there, and that other one that I zested, I'm going to throw those in there. And next comes some white wine vinegar. I'm going to go 1 tablespoon of white wine vinegar. If I can pick my thing up. And I'm also going to add some white wine vinegar over here again. We're mimicking pretty much everything we're doing. Tablespoon of Dijon mustard, and again we're going to mimic this over here. And then I have a half a teaspoon of paprika, and we're going to mimic. You didn't really have to measure that. And then I have a quarter of a teaspoon of kosher salt, and we'll put a little bit of salt in there. And then we're going to go a few rounds with our cracked pepper. And of course, we're going to do that over here as well. You should really probably do that over here. You shouldn't really hold your spices over things that are steaming or boiling. It's not a good idea, especially if you have like a jar of spice and you're trying to sprinkle, and all that moisture just goes right up into your spice. So I'm going to do that into my lid like I'm supposed to. I should teach you good habits and not bad habits. So now all that we're missing here is a half a cup of mayonnaise. I'm going to get this mixed up. I want to let this come to a boil, and then I'm going to let that boil for about 5 minutes. The longer this can kind of do its thing over here, the more flavor it's going to develop, obviously. All right, so you can see that we're at a complete rolling boil here. You really want this boiling, because as soon as you drop your shrimp in there, it's going to cool down. And I've kind of already started here, and I kind of designed this little thing where I can just set it down in there. These little shrimp, maybe 2 minutes, maybe a minute and a half. They don't take long. And if you've seen my video for how to make shrimp cocktail, then you will know that I kind of like to do them in batches in this beautiful flavored water. And then if I just kind of strained that out, I would have all these bits and pieces that I have to pick through. So this keeps me from doing that. And then I don't believe in sometimes if I let it go, it'll stay. And sometimes things will fall in it. But I don't believe in taking the time to make this beautiful, flavorful broth here that we made, and then dunking my shrimp into a great big bowl of ice water. Because why do I want to rinse off all of that flavor? So onto a sheet tray, I put mine like this, and then pop them in the refrigerator. They cool off really fast. So while I'm waiting for my shrimp to cool down, I'm going to taste this beautiful dressing that we made for it. I kind of wanted to see if it needed more lemon. But I don't think it does. I think it could use a touch more kosher salt and some pepper. And other than that, I think we're good. It's going to be delicious. Yeah, that's much better. Definitely not more lemon. It's almost a little too lemon forward as it is. So I'm definitely going to say no more lemon. But I'm thinking a splash of Dijon mustard. So it's always great to follow recipes, but it's also really great to follow your taste buds and taste and see if you need to adjust and add. Let's see if that helped a little bit. All right, there it is. Now it's just perfect. So now we're going to get our shrimp out of the refrigerator and get them chopped up and into our dressing. I don't think I like this view. I think I got to go back to a better view, even if you are looking out the window at nothing. So we're just going to kind of a rough chop this shrimp. It doesn't have to be super finely diced. Just kind of a nice, a nice bite size, so when you bite into it, it's not too big, not overwhelming. And we're going to chop that up. We're going to mix that up, and then I like to let that sit in the refrigerator for an hour to 2 to really let those flavors start to develop and come together. Looks pretty nice, huh? Isn't that beautiful? So I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, and then we'll be back, and I'll show you how we put these together. My shrimp salad's been sitting in the refrigerator, and I know this is just going to really help develop those flavors. Yummy. Oh, I'm very, very excited. This is so yummy. Now, you see these beautiful brioche buns that I found. I mean, you can see how that would encourage anybody to want to make some kind of roll. I do have my cast iron getting hot over here. I'm just going to melt some butter in it because I want to just really butter and toast the top and bottom of my buns. It's actually kind of funny because normally when we're in the water, we're not always completely level. And I think they got us really pretty level today. It's actually pretty amazing. And just look, see how beautiful and golden and toasty that's going to be. Now, what I did want to tell you that you don't have to put these in a hot dog bun or brioche bun. You can, if you can't have the bread, this is perfect as a lettuce wrap. Just wrap it up in some lettuce. Perfect. And I think I'm going to date myself here, but do you remember back in the day, the shrimp salad and the hauled out tomato? I mean, I know, it's classic. It's old school. But these fresh summertime tomatoes, and you stuff some of this shrimp salad in it, I'm telling you, delicious. So now we have our buns all nice and toasted, and we're going to, and it's kind of a little bit watery. If it gets a little watery on you, just use a spoon that you can kind of drain it off on so your buns don't get too soggy. And then that's it. We're going to just, it's all nice and warm and toasty in there. And then it's going to be crispy and buttery on top. So delicious. So I hope that you let me know if you make this recipe. If you come across some shrimp, a good deal on some shrimp, and just want to make some shrimp salad. Again, just use this shrimp salad just for anything that you might need a shrimp salad for. For appetizers, you can stuff it in some wonton cups. There's a lot of possibilities. You don't have to stuff it in a roll, but it's good if you do. So just let's have a little peek at how pretty they are. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, don't you just want a bite of that? You just have to want a bite of it. So Billy and I are getting ready to eat. This is our dinner. Thank you for being here. As always, you're always appreciated, and you're always welcome. And I'm just so glad to have you here and have the support that I have been seeing. It means so much to me. So thank you for comments and hearts and thumbs ups and subscribing and following, all of that beautiful stuff that you do to help keep me going here on the galley. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.